to say it. Like,
I think people who haven't had an abortion, who are new to abortion rights activism, may need to be aware that if they're rocking a jumper or a t-shirt or a badge, what that means to people who have had an abortion. It means solidarity, it means support, it means that someone in their life that they know might decide to talk to them, and to be able to just let that conversation happen and listen.
So I think after I started telling my story, I felt like I lived life in kind of two extremes in talking about abortion, where there was kind of like the media where they just wanted my sad sob story, but then the friends that I had at the time, like the ones I would talk to because they were involved in pro-choice activism and hadn't had abortions, they just wanted to hear how relieved I was. I didn't really have anyone who wanted to hear about the middle when I was wobbly. Do you know, like, people either wanted, I am so happy and relieved, and I was, but like, I just wanted to kind of define my story by me, and I don't think I've ever had the kind of opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Having abortion with pills is still this kind of dirty thing that goes on. Like, I can't imagine, when I had my abortion I did think about it at the time, but I didn't really know how to use Twitter, about like live tweeting it, and I was like, I feel like people would be disgusted by what was going on if I live tweeted it, and it's just, I don't know what it, maybe I'm isolated from it, but I don't hear people talk about taking pills all that much.
Yeah, I remember reading something about that.
But too. I think, like, I remember going to a doctor, I will not name them, after I'd had my abortion, and like, one, they were very annoyed that I was so blasé about my abortion, where I just rocked up and was like, I did this is what I did, this is the medication I took, is it over now? And they were like, how could you be so stupid? What did you do? And this was from an organisation that markets itself as one women who've had abortions can go to, and they made me come back every day for 3 days. They made me go to the Mater for blood tests because I still had hormones in my system, and I was like, oh well, Women on Web said that might still happen, I'll come back next week. And they were like, no, you go to the Mater, you get your blood test, you do this. And
because they don't know how to treat it.
Yeah,
how to deal with
that was the only time I remember feeling totally anxious about my abortion. Other than that, I was like, these things are happening.
I was told they would.
Yeah, it was fine. I contacted Women on Web, they emailed me back in 15 minutes. Like, there might not have been physical people, but like, and I guess with this new BPAS helpline as well, like, there are some people that know what they're talking about, they just don't seem to be based in Ireland. Though maybe that has changed in 4 years.
I mean, also when you look at the vitriol that the anti-choice side, I mean, if women feel ashamed by having an abortion, perhaps it's the other side that needs to answer for that, you know.
But we don't talk about it. Like, you know, I can count on one hand the number of times I've sat with 2 women who've had an abortion, and we've talked about our experiences. This should be normal.
Yeah.
You know, the same way women sit around and talk about giving birth, or talk about other, you know, first periods or first awful sex. We don't share these stories. We don't talk about it.
It'd just be really comforting to turn to a friend and say, actually, I had an abortion, and then be like, do you know, like, just like, fine.
But we don't because we don't share, because women all around the country don't sit around and chat like we do. We don't get to emotionally process it. Like anything else that happens in your life, unless you can talk about it, you don't process it, you bottle it up.
Yeah.
Because my first speak out, I remember talking about travelling, and I found myself talking about things that I hadn't talked about in 20 years.
Yeah.
Little things, and then I found myself emotionally processing that afterwards, because I'd put it on hold.
So you know, even in terms so that women can start to process how they feel themselves about it, it makes sense to talk about it out loud. And you know, the Speak Out, the Abortion Rights Campaign run a Speak Out in Dublin. They've done it every year for the last 4. This will be the 4th year, and we would hope to do them outside of Dublin, assuming people from outside of Dublin would like to do them.
I get people saying, okay, there's professional counselling, but is there peer support?
Yeah.
And it's something that I've talked about to a lot of people about over the last 10 years. It's very hard to get a peer support group going.
Yeah.
People are worried about who'll know they're there, what the venue will be like, and it's just that fear and that silence. It's very hard to break through it.
Yeah.
So it's really great to have the Speak Outs happen.
Yeah.